everyone, and welcome back to Anne's Family Recipe. Today I'm sharing with you 3 easy after-school snack ideas that are tasty and kid-approved. Okay, so today was the very first day of school. I have a 4th grader, that's my son Jack, and then a 2nd grader, that's my daughter Emma. And for them, I'm making some apple nachos. So I'm just gonna use Granny Smith apples, green apples. They're a little bit tart, and this is my favorite kind of apple to use in a pie, or if just I'm doing something sweet with apples, like sweet toppings, let's say. So I'm just going to, I don't have any fancy tools to cut my apples. I just cut off the 4 sides as close to the core as possible. And then I'm gonna cut these into little slices. And I'll do that with all 3 of these apples. So next, I'm going to try to arrange the apples in kind of a nice little pattern on my plate, and then we'll put the toppings on. I just want to make sure I'm spacing them out enough that every apple's going to get the toppings. I don't want to overlap them too much. I don't know, we'll see. Obviously I'm going for a little bit of a spiral pattern here. It might not be perfect, but it'll look better than just throwing them all on the plate, right? These smell really good too. It smells like fall, and I can just tell by holding on to them, they're nice and crisp. That's another good thing about Granny Smith apples. They're always gonna have a nice crunch to them. Okay, so that's about all that's going to fit. So I probably used about 2 1/4 of my apples, which is fine. We can just refrigerate the rest and snack on them later. But now we're gonna add the toppings. So I have this bottle of butterscotch sundae syrup, and it has a really nice thin consistency, so I can just do sort of a light drizzle all over top of the apples. And then I'm also going to use some of these mini chocolate chips. Now, obviously the sky is the limit with your toppings here. I've seen people do melted peanut butter or kind of the classic caramel sauce. You could even do chopped up nuts or little toffee bits. That would be super yummy, either along with the chocolate or in place of them. Totally up to you, but I think whatever combination you come up with will be super tasty, especially against these kind of tart green apples. So I'm gonna go around with my butterscotch drizzle. Let's see, oh yeah, perfect. Hopefully every piece will get some. And then I'll do my mini chocolate chips. This is one of my favorite combinations. Oftentimes at Christmas we'll get these giant chocolate covered apples. It's kind of like a double layer. So it's a huge Granny Smith apple, and then it's caramel coated and then dipped in chocolate or in nuts or in chocolate chips, all different kinds of toppings. And I love those. So this is sort of a deconstructed, easy to eat version of that. I mean, this looks seriously delicious. I might have to sneak a taste before my kids get home. Today I'm going to make a bunch of crescent roll-ups. So I am gonna do some sweet and some savory. I have ham and cheese, pepperoni and mozzarella. I'm gonna use some Nutella and maybe try either cinnamon sugar or peanut butter and jelly too. So the first thing I'll do is get all of my crescent rolls on my cookie sheet. So for my first 2, I'm going to take some shredded mozzarella cheese and a couple pieces of pepperoni. And you don't really need much because you don't want it to ooze out the sides, but also they're pretty small. I mean, it's going to ooze out the sides a little bit, but I've tried this with like mozzarella cheese sticks before, and that was a lot of cheese. So we'll just do about, I don't know, a tablespoon of the shredded mozzarella. And then a couple pieces, or slices I should say, of pepperoni. And then once those are cooked, those can be dipped in some pizza sauce. For the next 2, I'm going to do ham and cheese. So I'm just gonna take one slice of deli ham. It's already kind of rolled up here for me. And I'll place that at the top. And then I'll sprinkle on, again, about a tablespoon of the shredded cheddar cheese. For 2 of the sweet rolls, I definitely want to use this chocolate hazelnut spread. I just buy the Aldi brand, but it's really good. Tastes almost exactly like Nutella. And I'm just gonna spread some of that on at the top. And for my last 2, I'm gonna try one with peanut butter and strawberry jelly, and then the other one I'll do a little bit of softened butter and then sprinkle in some cinnamon and sugar. And we'll see how those turn out. You can see I decided to spread the Nutella down a little bit farther, and then now I just have to roll them up. So the goal is to try and keep as many of the ingredients inside the crescent roll dough as possible, but of course some of them are gonna seep out a little bit, which is fine. All right, so they're all rolled up, and now these will go in the oven at 375 degrees, and I'm just baking them according to the package directions, so probably for about 10 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown. These were so easy and really delicious. As predicted, my kids' favorite flavor was the Nutella. Those were gone instantaneously. I love the ham and cheese. I'd never made that before, and they were so good. The pepperoni pizza is classic. Not a huge fan of the peanut butter and jelly, but the kind of cinnamon roll inspired one was tasty too. So it doesn't hurt to kind of play around with the different fillings and see what you can come up with. Lastly, I'm making a classic with a gourmet twist. These are my brown butter Rice Krispie treats. So I started by spraying an 8x8 glass baking dish, and then I melted 6 tablespoons of salted butter in my Dutch oven. I love that little extra salty flavor along with the sweetness of the marshmallows. And then you keep cooking it until the fats in the butter start to toast. So you can see they're actually gonna get a nice golden brown. You just really wanna keep your eye on it and continuously stir it. Then you dump in a whole bag of marshmallows, stir them around until they melt, then turn off the heat, and I added in 4 cups of Rice Krispies, and then stir it all together to coat the cereal evenly. And then you just pour this out into your well-greased baking dish and press it down. And then you can wet your fingertips to press it down, or you can use your rubber spatula. You might want to spray that with a little more baking spray just so it doesn't stick. Press them down a little bit, not too hard because I like them sort of light and fluffy, and then allow them to cool at room temperature, not in the fridge, or else they'll get really hard. But these have such a rich flavor to them. I feel like everybody loves a Rice Krispie treat, but these are next level because you're using browned salted butter. So, so good. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at Ann's Family Recipe, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked my after-school snack ideas. Thank you so much for joining me here in my kitchen, and I'll see you again soon with more family recipes.